to be friendly and not be a outcast, I guess. My greatest challenge is like getting through my day at school and trying to socialize with a disability.
I was born in Colombia, and then when I was 3 years old, my family and I immigrated to the USA. And since then, we've kind of moved around a bit. We've lived in New Jersey, Michigan, Tennessee, Michigan again, and recently we moved to Pittsburgh. I usually have lived in suburban areas, but I did live in a couple more rural areas, and I think that in those areas, people tend to be a little bit less open-minded about other cultures and about other places in the world. So I think my greatest challenge has probably been having people understand more about where I come from without making assumptions that I come from like a bad, dangerous country, or like my family is like in the cartel or anything like that.
One of the most challenging moments of my life would have to be when my grandmother passed away a few years ago, because I was really close to her, especially, and my whole family was, of course, and it was just a really difficult moment in our lives. You know, she wasn't like suffering anymore, so we were just eventually over time we were able to accept it and move on.
My greatest challenge, I think, really is being a man of African descent. In America, there's a lot of things that I have faced in my parents and grandparents and generations over the years that have been tough, because of our skin color, or just stereotypes and preconceived notions about who we are as people. As somebody who really enjoys history, I study history, and I really care about history, it does take a toll to kind of think about those things as it relates to my heritage and my ethnicity.
This is my second year at the North Allegheny School District. I am originally from Boston, Massachusetts, and I've lived there my entire life. It was very emotional leaving all my family behind, but it was change, and change is sometimes good. Going from the school I was at with 400 kids, it's a big change knowing everyone in your class and then seeing a new face every single day in the hallways.
So my story is still evolving, but I guess a significant aspect of my story is I'm a first-generation college student and college graduate rather, and so there was a lot of challenges that I experienced in life. I grew up in an urban environment in Chicago. I attended school in kind of a farming, rural environment in Wisconsin, and I've been in some other environments through schooling and through life. So I'm thankful for all of those experiences. I'm thankful for all of those opportunities. But there were challenges along the way, but it's actually made me a better person as a result of it.
My greatest challenge has probably been my courage, or technically my lack of courage. There were plenty of opportunities that I missed when I was younger that I could have taken, and I just didn't because I thought I would fail or I'd be ridiculed or mocked or humiliated, even though that probably wouldn't happen. And when I finally did have the courage to really do anything, I just had probably some of the greatest moments in my entire life.
The greatest challenge would be coming from other countries to America. I was born in a different country called Latvia, and I was an orphan for 12 years. 2008, my mom died, and then I got adopted 2012. So that's, yeah.
I have a form of OCD, and it's called trichotillomania. It basically makes me pull my hair out, and it's actually a very common thing, but a lot of people don't know. They have it and they don't know, they're undiagnosed. For a while, the people close to me didn't believe me. When my siblings told my parents, you need to step in and let them know that this isn't right and that they can't act out like this and stuff like that. And so that was, I just felt like maybe I am making this up, but I couldn't stop it. So there have been multiple instances in my life where I've had massive bald patches on my head. I've had, I didn't have eyebrows a few times, and they're like, okay, there's actually, maybe this isn't some trying to like self-diagnose or something or make something up.
In college, my freshman year, I lost my grandfather and then my father within like a 3-month period. And so that was a lot to carry as a freshman in college, just starting out my new life as an adult, navigating grief. It was really hard. Fast forward to about 2019, my family began to go through another season of grief where we lost a lot of family members like back to back to back. And put that on top of a pandemic, it was really, really hard to navigate when you are considered the strong one amongst your friends and your family group.
In recent time, I'm a volunteer firefighter, and I'd ran a couple pretty bad calls where there's loss of life, there's loss of property, and I'd say that I definitely learned a lot. I think that the biggest impact that a call ever had on me was one that I ran a few months ago, where we were called for a reported car accident. While we're responding, we got an update. Now we're being told that the car's ripped in 2 pieces. So everyone's kind of mindset changes. Now we're not just going to some, fender bender. We're going to some pretty bad accident. And I remember getting there and looking out the windshield, and it's as close as you can describe the car being ripped into 2 pieces. I personally didn't get up too close to the vehicle, which honestly was in my best interest. I found out the hard way that it was a kid. I actually was looking at the father. I was looking in his eyes when he was running up the street, and he said, and he said, "That's my son's car." It broke my heart. It's something that, you never expect something to hurt you like as much as it does. And then for me, it didn't help that the kid was my age. So it kind of made me take life and look at it a different way, and it definitely showed me my purpose. So I'd say that we cope when we talk to each other, because we have it's a close family bond, especially in the volunteer aspect. We definitely care about each other, we love each other. It is a brotherhood, it is a sisterhood. There's a lot of times where we can run a call, and I can list several examples where I see something that's honestly really traumatizing. Being just a 17-year-old kid, it's hard. And then you're sitting down with your brothers and your sisters, enjoying a meal and just talking about it, and it honestly helps.
What brings me joy and makes me happy is my family. I have 3 nephews who I adore, and I also am the godmother of 5, yes, 5 little ones, and some not so little ones who definitely make me rejoice when they learn new things. My oldest goddaughter is a senior in high school, so her graduating brings me joy and makes me rejoice. Yeah.
What makes me happy is faith and believing positive things that's going to happen to you every day. I started believing when my mom died, and I was around like 8 when you realize who's the God of who's heaven and all that. And I just started believing because I felt I just need support from heaven, who will actually just help me as much as every day.
So many things make me rejoice. I think spending time with loved ones, just being in their company, conversing with them. I really enjoy being outside, just being in nature, just being in that environment. It's very peaceful and relaxing. It brings me a lot of joy.
Food, that sounds really weird, but there's a lot of things you can do with food. You can make people happy with it. You can comfort people with food. There's a lot of things that you can tell from a person about their food, and I think, food just makes me really happy. It makes you feel full and happy.
I think I rejoice most when just anything with soccer, because I love to watch it and play it, and it can be a good moment after a long day of school or work, just to be able to do something I love or watch it, and it just makes me feel so much better and relax a little bit.
People who are passionate about what they do, no matter what the people around them say or what their actual abilities are. Watching those kind of people and what they eventually go on to achieve, I don't know, it's just something that makes me smile.
People, any events or things, I think back to No Place for Hate last year, just having people together in a common space, just uplifting and encouraging and positive messages. I could live in that type of space forever. Like I love people coming together for positive things and interacting, and the energy that is generated by those things. You know, a lot of MSU stuff we do. It just brings me sheer joy to experience those things.
Even though people are of different backgrounds or socioeconomic levels and different things, that we're all dealing with the same issues and all trying to navigate life. And so as a result of those, my time in high school in Wisconsin, it just showed me that we're all kind of in this boat together, you know, and to not be so consumed with those things that are barriers or create differences, but actually get to know that person.
You never really know what somebody's going through. I think definitely moving around has made it pretty hard to find a sense of community wherever you live, since you've kind of been like going back and forth between places. So I would say I'd want people to never judge a book by its cover. If you don't know about somebody's culture, don't really make assumptions about it. Try not to make like microaggressions and things like that. I think that's like one of the most important things.
Just be respectful with people that have anything, and just be friendly with them.
Obviously, I just want people to know that if anyone watches this and they struggle with the same thing, that it can be treated and that it doesn't make them ugly, that they don't have poor self-control. Just be patient with people who don't want to believe you or who think that you're wrong, and just have patience and be willing to explain things multiple times.
I think the key to pushing forward and to keep going is just community. I rely a lot on my actual family, my biological family, but also my church community, you know, and people that can relate to what it's like to be a minority, or somebody who's classified as a minority. Just kind of getting that encouragement and that solidarity with people that you know, that I find, you know, some common ground with.
Stop thinking and just do things. So yeah, it sounds kind of basic, but just do more things that you enjoy and sign up for things that you are interested in. It might feel like people are going to make fun of you for it, but I really promise they're not. So just do things.
If you do have something you like to do, and maybe it's a little embarrassing, go for it. Like, really, who cares? Like, it's a big world, and you're gonna find someone else who shares your passion, and then that's gonna be a source of connection, and you're eventually gonna find your place in the world. So why disguise yourself at this point? And if that's not enough of motivation, then I'm rooting for you.
Do not be afraid to put yourself out there. People are nice, and you have to be open-minded to that. Not everyone is going to judge you. If you see someone new in the hallways, don't be afraid to go up to them and introduce yourself and get to know them as a person, because they could end up being your best friend for life.